Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Hurry Up. I'm your host, Adam. Let's get into it. So, last night the Cowboys took on the Saints. They beat them 27-17, and, the Cowboys had some moments in that game. Tony Pollard having a big play. But the reason why I want to talk about this game is because of a player that seems to be generating a lot of buzz, and that is Micah Parsons, a guy that Giants could have chosen. Micah Parsons right now is a dog. We need to remember who the craziest dog was in all of the Giants nation was that guy. We need to bring in dogs. See, Micah Parsons, what he's doing and what he's done, and maybe the Giants, not maybe, the Giants should have drafted him. They traded down and got a pick, and we're using it for whatever they're using it for now, to acquire picks or possibly draft a quarterback. Obviously, we'll get into that later on down the road. But right now, that's what they did. They passed on a guy, Micah Parsons, who right now has 10 plus sacks and is making his name for Defensive Player of the Year, not only Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. That would be a clean sweep, something we probably haven't seen in the likes of the modern NFL era, and that would be something crazy. Now, I know a lot of people are comparing him to the man behind me, LT, one of the greats of all time. He's not there yet, but what he's doing to his Cowboys defense allowed them to get rid of a guy like Jalen Smith, right? Jalen Smith came in, they drafted him, I think, second or third round out of Notre Dame. He had that terrible knee injury that allowed him to slip in the draft. And Micah Parsons has outplayed him where they got rid of him. Now, Micah Parsons is probably going to be the new age of linebacker in the NFL. Okay, a guy who can do everything: rush the passer, drop back into coverage, play linebacker for you, play edge rusher for you. Remember, he did that in college. He was moved all around the defense. He didn't just play edge rusher. They needed him to rush the passer. That's what he did. They needed him to drop back in coverage. That's what he did. Jack of all trades. But now the Cowboys have got one, a good one, and it makes me a little angry as a Giant fan to know that we don't have anybody like that. The last time the Giants picked a player, not even of his ilk, but a defensive edge rusher or outside linebacker or stand-up player, whatever you want to call it, hasn't been since JPP. Now, people are going to say, well, the Giants drafted, Dexter Lawrence. Well, a guy like an edge rusher or outside linebacker or the end, not since JPP. And think about this. Think about this. Hang your hat on this. Not one player, only one player on the Giants defense was drafted in the first round by the Giants. By the Giants. Leonard Williams was drafted in the first round, but he was by the Jets. Everybody else, second rounder here in Bradbury, fourth rounder here, Blake Martinez, Lorenzo Carter, third rounder. You know what I mean? There's nobody homegrown on the defense that you can go through the entire back end, the front end. Even Xavier McKinney was a second round pick. So the Giants need to start investing, and that's why I think in one of their first two draft picks, they need to select a defensive and outside linebacker. Whether that's the first pick or the second one, you need to get one of these guys to bring in the dogs on your team. No more squeaky clean guys anymore. No more squeaky clean guys. None. I don't want any of that. No more guys that are squeaky clean. Because it's not working right now. I love the fact that they want to bring in guys who have a history and don't have any issues off the field, but sometimes you need to bring in a little crazy. Remember, this guy here, LT, this guy, a little crazy. A little crazy. I'm not going to lie to you, And so the Giants need to bring that back to bring back the glory days. Because I'm not saying their defense is not good, but imagine if they got an Aiden Hutchinson or, a Drake Jackson from USC or even a Thibodeau from Oregon or even the kid from Purdue. And the guy that I like the most is Aiden Hutchinson, but a guy that could, I think, fit in the Giant system is the kid from Purdue. And here's why. George, I think his name is George Kafalakis. I don't want to pronounce his name. I think I pronounced it wrong anyways. But the kid from, I'm going to call him GK from Purdue, right? He has what the Giants are looking for. He's 270 pounds. He's played up and down the line, right? That's what the Giants need. That way they can move. It kills two birds with one stone. Why? Because if you get this guy from Purdue, guess what? You get to move Dexter Lawrence inside, where a 340-pound man should not be playing defensive end. Okay, he shouldn't be playing defensive end in 3-4 system. He needs to be moved inside. I know you have Johnson and you brought in Danny Shelton, but Shelton don't do nothing, and Austin Johnson is more of a pass rusher. So move Dexter Lawrence to the middle. This way you have Leonard Williams on the outside and this kid from Purdue on the outside. And then when you decide to go with a four-man front up front, you can move Azeez Ojulari to the down position, and then you still have four guys there. And if you want to mix and match Ellerson Smith in there as well to take out Dexter Lawrence, so you'd have the kid from Purdue, Ellerson Smith, Azeez Ojulari, and Leonard Williams all on that front line. That's going to create some havoc come third down pass rushing situations. Or if you get a guy similar to Micah Parsons, a linebacker of that ilk in the first round, you decide you don't want to go pass rusher, you want to go a dynamic front seven, then do that as well, because that guy can change the defense, right? Look at Parsons. One of the best things that he did was he could blitz, right? But then the Cowboys changed it up and said, instead of blitzing, we'll just move you all around the line as a chess piece, right? Because he can come from the left side, the right side, up the middle, drop into coverage, right? Giants don't have any of those guys. And what's holding this defense back in my eyes is just not having the dogs, not having the horses to do things. Now they're playing well, which means they're a sound football team defensively. Because mainly the reason why is their back end is so good. Their back end is pretty good in this league, and they're doing a very good job in the secondary, which is allowing the front seven to kind of clean up where it needs to clean up. But the thing that you can see is missing is a middle linebacker. So Blake Martinez is missing. They have Tate Crowder, who's playing pretty well, but he's not as dynamic right now as Blake Martinez. And they're missing an edge rusher that is a closer. That is a guy that's a Micah Parsons that can come in on 3rd and 11 and get that big-time sack for you. Azeez is still developing. Okay, Azeez Ojulari, I think, is going to be a good Robin, right? We all need a Batman to our Robin. We need a Batman to come in. And I think the Giants, with their first pick in this draft, whether it's with the Chicago pick or it's their own, need to pick a bona fide edge rusher. Start to build a cornerstone of your... People want to talk about cornerstones. Start building cornerstones. The Giants don't have many on there. They have Andrew Thomas. He's a cornerstone. We're still looking for, if we have one to hang our hat on with the quarterback position. That's to be determined. The running back, we still got to get him back in shape. He was one when he first started. Now it's to be determined. And how many of those guys on defense can you say are cornerstone building blocks and homegrown talent? A lot of the teams in the NFL have homegrown defensive talent and bring in, guys to fill in spots while they draft the players. The Giants, on the other hand, try to build through the free agency and not through the draft. Hence why you have players like O'Shea and Zimenez, a lot of reach players too, right? Look at right now, Matt Pert. Right now, those two guys, O'Shea and Zimenez and Matt Pert, were drafted on potential alone out of smaller schools. Don't do that anymore. Get guys who may have played, may have been a transfer to college, went from a big school to a small school because of disciplinary reasons. But if you're going to draft these guys now, draft those guys later on. I mean, the guy from Tennessee, I think his name is Tevin Smith, he had a heart issue, and that dropped him in the draft. But he went in the 6th round. That's a guy you take a flyer on if you're the Giants, right? You need offensive line help. You take him. So the Giants need to start getting more dogs on both sides of the ball, mostly on defense. Personally, and then offense. Like, I think if the Giants went in the 1st round, drafted an outside linebacker, and then you want to draft, O-lineman the rest of the way, fine. But just get your bona fide edge player, your Joey Bosa, your JPP, your Chase Young, your Josh Allen, heck, even your Devin White, or, in this case, Micah Parsons. And I was on board with drafting Isaiah Simmons when he was coming out because I thought he would be a good weapon for the Giants to use in their defense because he could be all over the field. And here we are, sitting here now, and what are the two main issues that the Giants have had for the last 4 or 5 years? Offensive line help, trouble that they need. Offensive line help and or offensive line trouble, and edge rusher. I don't want to see any more D tackles drafted in the 1st round. I don't want to see any more of that. The Giants need to draft defense, and they need to draft heavy in the safety department, heavy in the linebacker department and heavy in the edge / defensive end department. And it depends. The reason why I said that George guy out of Purdue is good is because he is versatile. And so is Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson played up and down the defensive line. That guy gives you versatility to allow you to move players around. Right now, the Giants aren't moving too many players around. Their defense is what it is. And that's because they have a lot of young guys in Tate Crowder and McKinney and Julian Love. A lot of young guys, but they don't have a lot of defensive edge talent. Lorenzo Carter, okay. And the reason why Lorenzo Carter is starting over Quincy Roche, and I know people are upset about that, is because he can set the edge better than Quincy Roche can. Doesn't mean Quincy Roche won't be there on passing downs. It doesn't mean Quincy Roche won't get more burn playing time-wise. It's just a matter of him being better to set the edge and disrupt the quarterback a little bit. You saw that coming out with Lorenzo Carter. And who knows, maybe Lorenzo Carter lights it up and gets 4 or 5 sacks these remaining 4 or 5 games. I doubt it, but let's see. He's making a pitch to get re-signed. But if I'm the Giants and whomever is the GM, whether that's Dave Gettleman, hope not, or a new set of eyes, one of the positions that need to be addressed in the first round, not we're going to address it in the second round. Get one of the top players in the draft at their position. If you want to trade down in the first round, here, I'll even bring this scenario down for you. Giants take best tackle available, tackle or offensive lineman, whatever you want, with their first pick. The first pick in the first round, and then their second pick in the first round. If you want to trade down because somebody wants a quarterback and you acquire picks, I'm down for that. But that next first round pick has to be a defensive front 7 player, mostly a linebacker, an edge player, preferably, or a safety if you happen to get that kid from Notre Dame if you trade down and within striking distance, because that second first round pick is a luxury pick. However, it needs to be a player that's going to be an impact player for years to come on defense. Not a Dexter Lawrence type. Anyways, this has been another edition of the Hurry Up. I hope you enjoyed it. My take is the Giants need dogs on defense to push this defense over the top and make it the defense we all want it to be, and be a little bit more reminiscent of the times we had this gentleman and the times that we had Strahan and Tuck. That's what we need. So, everyone, have a great weekend. Look forward to the games. Giants, Miami, let's get it.